Back to work and school, going to be wet to damp. We're continuing to track the showers during Jacksonville's morning news. Not likely to see any severe weather, but as always, we'll remind you to download the free WOKV app, set severe weather alerts in the event we have one of those isolated storms. Certainly going to be inconvenient following the long holiday weekend. We'll be training the rain gear for winter coats and extra layers by tonight and especially early tomorrow morning. With wind chills that could fall into the teens in some areas. Well inland, we could see a hard freeze with temperatures into the 20s and cold all the way to the beaches as well. Next few mornings going to be pretty frigid, probably the coldest air that we've had in Northeast Florida this winter so far. Very active weather pattern. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris tracking another cold snap for the weekend as well. So heads up in a first alert that we could be dealing with a couple of different rounds of really frigid temperatures as we're into the throes of deep winter. Up to our north, it has been just bitter cold and very wet, snowy wet. And that's continuing to lead to ripple effects here at home with multiple flights canceled and delayed out of Jacksonville International Airport today. It's likely that we'll see that continue at least for the next few days. Make sure you're checking ahead with your airline. The results from the Iowa caucuses. Pretty resounding victory for former President Trump as he laps the rest of the field. Nearly 30-point advantage over Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. DeSantis finishing the distant second and a nearby third place finish for Nikki Haley, the former South Carolina governor, a few thousand votes behind DeSantis as they're continuing to count the ballots from the Iowa caucuses. DeSantis vowing to stay in the fight, and he is next going to South Carolina, which is the third in the schedule for primary states or early voting, if you will, in this primary season. New Hampshire is next Tuesday, and that's where Nikki Haley seems to have the advantage, and she's going to be doing a lot of campaigning there over the coming days. We're analyzing what the margin of victory for former President Trump ultimately means, the cash on hand that Governor DeSantis has, and how that may impact his chances going forward over the next several weeks as we continue to swarm You Decide 2024. A lot of other storylines we're following for you throughout this Tuesday on Jacksonville's Morning News, but those are kind of the big ones. Stay with us for continuing coverage till 10 o'clock today and every weekday. And don't forget, chances to win $1,000 with payroll payout. Keyword, it's back at 8 a.m. and again at 10 a.m. 2 chances for you to win during the Mark Kaye Show at noon and 2, and then again on the ride home with Hannity at 5 p.m.